What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Waiver Wire Queen. In today's video, we are going to do another mock draft. That's right, we're going to do a mock draft for the league that I run. This is a 2-quarterback, 2-tight-end league with individual defensive players as well. I don't think anyone is going to draft defensive players in this draft, but you simply never know. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure those notifications are turned on so you can stay ahead of your competition in fantasy football. Because while your competition is on vacation, you are preparing for the upcoming season so you can win your league. Let's jump right into it. So I feel like the wide receiver position is deep in this draft. Tight end position does not have a Kyle Pitts. However, there are some really solid tight ends in this draft. I don't feel like a tight end should be drafted in the first round. However, there is some great value later on, even in the fourth round. I have 5 picks in this draft. I have 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the fourth. So I'm either going to have to risk it in the fourth round, which I have the last pick, or I'm going to have to take a tight end in the second round. Because I don't have a third. I'm still trying to work on making a move to acquire a third. So maybe I can grab me a tight end in the third round. We'll have to see what happens there. There are 2 quarterbacks I really like in this draft. And let's get ready to do this mock draft. Y'all, I'll tell you this. I am starting to lean on the side of Kenneth Walker. I'm really loving what I see. I was super high on Spiller before the season started, but now I'm starting to get a little cold on them. This league has 10 teams. I feel like the first pick should not be a quarterback, but the young man who is running that team, he has pretty much let us know that he is drafting Malik Willis. And so to start this draft off and make sure that it's going the way it's supposed to go, I'm going to set his player, and I'm going to pick the player that he said he was going to pick to kind of make it a little more realistic. Wow. And Malik Willis is obviously the best quarterback in this draft. I don't care what anyone is saying. I remember a few months ago, I had some guys telling me it was going to be Kenny Pickett. And I'm like, I really like Malik Willis. And they were like, no. Well, now some people's opinions have changed, and it's Malik Willis. A lot of people's opinions have changed. So Malik Willis is definitely one of those quarterbacks who can be a dual threat. He can use his legs. He has a big arm. So I encourage anyone who likes that type of quarterback to consider a quarterback like that. You know what I mean? For me, it's a no. I can't believe the sleep app. They amping me up over here. I'm wondering, like, what's going on? They trying to get me to do the draft. That's crazy. That's something new that the sleeper app has added. But again, with the quarterback position, if you are into the quarterback that's a dual threat who uses his legs a lot, then more power to you. I like the Justin Herbert type of quarterback, which it's most likely not in this draft. I like the Joe Burrow type. I like the pocket quarterbacks. Let's get right into it. Let's start the draft. And then also, this young man has told us, because he has 2 picks, pick 1 and pick 4. He says he's going to pick Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett with his first 2 picks. I honestly don't feel he should, but hey, that's on him. Now, Alex has the second pick, and I think Alex should invest in a quarterback. So say Byron doesn't draft Malik Willis and he goes, say, Breece Hall, then I believe that Alex should take Malik Willis because he would be a good fit for his team, because he got Baker Mayfield as his quarterback, and that's just not going to cut it. But let's get ready to get this started. And then once we get to the 4th pick, I am going to pause I'm going to pause. I'm going to pick who he said he was going to pick. He said he's going to pick Kenny Pickett, so I'm going to put it like that.
Wow.
And now we're going to keep on with the draft. It's going out. Be picking soon. Pick number 8 is on me. Let's see. I honestly feel like Kenneth Walker is going to go sooner in this draft. Now, I can go with Isaiah Spiller, but I really don't want to do that right here. So I'm going to go with, let's see. I'm really leaning towards Olave, and I'm going to just do it. And that's just it. I really like him. He has the potential to end up being one of the top 3 wide receivers in this draft. So check for that. I'm needing to add a running back. Again, I didn't want to get Spiller there. I like James Cook. I really do like Rashad White as well. I do like Zamir White a bit. I don't like Brian Robinson, so I'm staying away from him. There's some nice quarterbacks. I think Desmond Ridder is going to be a nice steal for whoever's able to get him. Now, here, I need a tight end, but I'm just not going to reach for my tight end. So what I'm going to do here is, let's see. There's some other, I'm going to just do this. Because when these are luxury picks for me in the first round because I won the league this season. And I feel like I can flip Olave or Williams or one of the other wide receivers I have on my team for a running back. And my running back position is not bad. I have Najee Harris. So right there, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to wait a bit. So right here, I can make that decision. I really do need a tight end. So I know that I don't have a pick again to the 4th round, and I'm almost sure that the guy that I want is not going to be there. So I'm going to take Isaiah Likely. So that's just what it's going to be. Trust when I tell you, in a 2-quarterback league, these quarterbacks won't be available in the 3rd round. And again, I let you know that the defense, no one's going to be drafting defensive positions in this draft. I like Carson Strong late. I also like Caleb LB. I like him late. So let's see. See, those tight ends are gone. So I made the right decision to get my guy at the end of the 2nd round, which turned out to be the right move. Again, you got to understand what you're working with and also know what everybody else has or may need. If you don't have a pick in, say, the 3rd or 4th round, and you don't pick again to the 5th round, you may have to go and get your guy. So that's exactly what I did. Now, I gonna take Zamir White, but let's see who else is here. You got Christian Watson here. I'm just gonna go with Zamir White to end it, but I could have went with Christian Watson. There were some other guys there on the board, which would have been better picks. However, I wanted to add some more depth at the running back position. I will let you know that when we do the live draft, defensive players, they won't be drafted in this draft. And also, you'll see more of those wide receivers who were undrafted. Those guys will be drafted. So let's look at what I did in this draft. Let's just go right over here. Let's put it up so you can see. I got Rashad White, Chris Olave, James Williams, Isaiah Likely, and Zamir White. Again, I'm not mad at the players I picked. Again, I'll be able to flip one of these top wide receivers for a running back or another asset I may need. Again, the position of need for me, which was a priority, was the tight end position. I didn't reach, but I got a tight end in a nice spot. Instead of with my first pick in the 2nd, I went with my 2nd pick in the 2nd round. So you just got to kind of analyze and see what's going on with the draft. If you notice that it's something crazy going on in the league and you may have to grab your guy, then you have to do what you have to do. With the tight end position being deep, I knew that I was going to be able to get a good tight end at the end of the second. However, when we do the real draft, it may not go that way since this is a 2 tight end league. So I'm gonna have to be strategic in how I plan in order to get the guy that I may want for my team. There are a few tight ends I like in this draft, so I'm not going to be mad if I don't get the first one I want. If I miss out on the guy that I covet the most, then I'm going to go and make sure that I get the next best thing. Again, when you are drafting, you just have to be strategic and be smart about what you are doing, and also know the league and how everyone drafts. If you're in a dynasty league and you've been in that dynasty league for a few years and it's the same people, everyone is managing their team, you kind of know how people move. You do. So you know that there may be that one guy who is in the league and you know what his goal is. His goal is to draft all of the quarterbacks in a 2 quarterback league or a super flex league, so everyone can come and start trading away their assets, so he can acquire more assets by giving you one of the quarterbacks he drafted, which he may have not needed. Or you may have someone who likes to load up on the wide receivers. You really gotta just know and understand what everyone is doing, and that will help you in a sense strategize. However, you don't want to ever detour from your plan or panic, because that's when you end up making mistakes. So don't panic, take your time, make sure you do your homework before you go into the draft. I don't know about you guys, but it's a big draft, especially if you are in a rebuild. You want to make sure you get those picks right. This is not like this is a startup league where you already know that, hey, if I grab Mahomes here, I know that I have my premium quarterback for a decade in my dynasty league. We don't know if any of these quarterbacks are going to be good. We keep hearing that it's not going to happen, mediocre at best. It's just not the draft. However, I do feel like this draft will come away with at least 3 solid starters. We're going to see, right? Everybody's saying it's next year. We project, right? We make projections. And some people live up to the hype, others don't. So we may say next year is going to be the class of quarterbacks, and then what if someone doesn't have a good season and they decide to return? You know, so many things can happen from now until next season. We're only focused on now. That's the only draft you truly need to focus on is now. If you're in rebuild, yes, it's great to acquire picks for next season. But again, the unknown is going to be next season. Right now, you know who's going to be in this draft and if there is any players of value for your team. So you don't want to just totally ignore this draft, because there are some really good players in this draft. And there are some positions that the draft is deep. Wide receiver, tight end. Although there, again, isn't a Kyle Pitts, you may come away with a Pat Freiermuth or someone who may be slightly better than him. And that's a win, because you're not going to find Travis Kelce every season in a draft. You're not going to find a Kyle Pitts every year in a draft. So you got to do your research, do your homework, and make sure you are ready for the draft, because it's only 2 weeks, y'all. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn those notifications on, and you continue to get ready for the upcoming draft. Y'all have a great evening. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Blown Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast.